Let it yield. Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Allegra Jackson, the marketing medulla. I am with, well, if she gets up here, TCO Kerr is going to be joining me in a moment. And we're talking about OPM, other people's money, and strategies behind that. And I love this. I love this topic because, the truth is that a lot of people have come to me. They're like, oh, money makes me so uncomfortable. Talking about money makes people uncomfortable. But the truth is that when you have a business, you're going to have to know what money means to you when it comes to your business relationship. For me, I found out that money to me was a lot of different things because when I grew up, I had different experiences with money. But once I became a business owner, I had to get the right resources. I had to, number one, learn what money meant to me, right? Emotionally, mentally, physically, all that. Then also learn how to use it. And so once I started to identify like all those different areas in my life, then I was able to look at, well, how do other people value money and how can I utilize their money to give them access to what they need and also to benefit what I need? So there's a little bit of an equation here, but it's not difficult. We just have to figure out what it is that we're offering people and where they see the value so that we can use their money to make a change or give a result. And so we're going to be talking about that today. And there's so many different avenues of what this looks like. Like when I was looking at what we call like a pie chart, right? If you ever have a pie chart, it dissects things in sections so that you can see like what percentage of that you need to focus on. And in some of my strategy sessions in the past, we've done pie charts, which is created for that specific business, right? There's so many areas that you need to look at when it comes down to funding, money, opportunity. These are all other people's money. But something TC brought up in our clubhouse room, and I hope that she gets to come on today so that she can talk to you all about the same concept where money and time are very equivalent. And when you're using other people's money, it's the same as saying to someone, you're utilizing their time. People trade time for money when they go to their 9 to 5 spaces every day, right? When they go to their jobs, they're saying, I'm going to work 9 hours, and in lieu of those 9 hours, you're going to pay me this amount. So when we look at that being exchange of currency, then we have to value it in that fashion. So number one, how do you see money, right? Because how you see money is how you're going to deem other people see money. So that's number one, okay? And another part of that is when it comes down to your strategy around it, like what do you actually need to put in place in order to get the funding that you need from other people? That could be anywhere from credit, right? That could be loans, that could be trade lines, that could be crowdfunding, that can be sales, that can be real estate, like leasing. Like there's just so many different ways that you can give people an opportunity to trade. But here's where I think that we have to pay more attention in this process of creating a strategy to use other people's money. Because if we have a strategy around that, then you'll never run out of opportunities to get those things that are offered to you, because every single month or every single week or every single quarter, you have an operational a way of processing your step by step to get either the grant or the loan or whatever it is that you're looking for. I think a lot of this, when it comes down to even the lack of strategy, also is people don't feel like they have enough time to really get the funding or the other people's money, right? Because if you look at sales, right, most people spend majority of time actually doing email marketing and promotions, and they're hoping to get someone to pay out of pocket for what they're offering, right? So if I'm offering this beautiful cup of coffee today, right, and I'm like, y'all, this coffee is so good, it keeps you up all day. You don't have to have another one. This is the only one you need. You can sip and savor it. And it has healthy you can say it's, it doesn't need to be sweetened with sugar. It has its own sweetener. Like all these benefits and fab techniques that I could be using, right, for this coffee. And Somebody on the other side is like, I love coffee. Somebody looking is like, oh yeah, I wonder what kind of coffee is that, and the thing about it is you have to identify who's saying that first in order to know who to market to. So that's why it's really difficult when people start off with marketing to strangers opposed to marketing to individuals who are already close to them, family members, friends. And this is something that even TC brought up in our clubhouse room. She said, when it comes down to marketing with friends and family, you have to have contracts in place, because it's just like you were to operate your business, you're using this opportunity, whether it's friends, family, or someone, colleagues at work, you're using the opportunity to build your business structure, because it's easier to make mistakes with family when it comes down to, like, your offers and beta testing and things like that, and friends. And it's the way you actually have the conversation, right? Because they're trading time. So that's still money, right? So they're like, yeah, like whatever it is that you're offering, you're giving them an opportunity to get into it and to tell you, whether by a testimonial, like, hey, I really liked what you did, that really helped me this way. Those testimonials get you more money, right? It gives more of that trade of, oh wow, like I want to now buy that because I see that someone else got those results. So the first thing I always say, and this is what I repeated in the clubhouse room, was utilizing other people's time and money is going to feel uncomfortable if you go straight to strangers first. So first things first, go to family, friends, and people who are already in your inner circle, right? And that means that people who already know you, and if you feel like they don't understand your vision or they don't understand why they need to give you money, then this is your opportunity to practice, right? Practice talking to, your family, immediate family members, and say, hey, I just launched this business. I just started this product or service. I'm really excited about it. Do you know anyone who would like something like this? Do you have anyone who uses these type of products, these type of services? And reaching out in that manner to family and friends. And I brought up, I think, an example of Get Yourself a David. And I see TC is coming up, so I'll have her up in a moment, y'all, because we were sharing this in Clubhouse. And I thought it was so interesting that it brought me back to my first business, which I always told, and I was consulting back then and didn't even realize it. But I would say, get yourself a David, because my David in my company, he helped me build my company pretty much from the ground up and added so much value in that arena. And so you have to wait, hold on, let me get TC up here. Hey TC, I'm gonna see if we can hear her. Okay. So TC, I was just talking about, this whole thing that we were starting on Clubhouse. And I think this is going to be one of those conversations that we have to lean into. Like, we already have our big brand, small business series that we're doing, y'all. We don't want to overwhelm you with so much. But I think that, and I pulled TC in because I said, listen, other people's money is what people are asking for all the time. I mean, I hear it all the time. Like, I didn't make the sale and I'm working the marketing strategy and nobody's, buying. And here's what I thought was so interesting about this piece is that when it comes down to the conversations around money, a lot of times we're not having it. And when I started out with this live stream was I said that, for me, before I even could ask someone else for money, I had to understand what that meant to me. Because asking someone for money initially was very uncomfortable, coming out of a 9-to-5 mindset and going into a business where all I had to do every day was tell someone where to put their money and their time. So if I wasn't strong enough in being able to say to my friends and family members and people that were around me that I need them to invest in my idea, I need, like, whether it's time or money, that first step that I told everyone in that OPM chart is that if you try to start with credit and loans and all these different things, it's great. That's good. But it's not going to give you the confidence that you're going to need to carry you out until you get to that place where you're starting to ask your friends, family, and strangers, to support your business. And then when you have that pie chart, which I'm going to show you in a moment, and TC has seen it, but when you have that pie chart that shows you all the other areas in your business that you can also fulfill, like now that you have sales coming in every month, now you can start looking at leveraging your business credit. You can start looking at leveraging crowdfunding crowdfunding with the people who are already dedicated to your mission and can invite more people to support your mission. I literally watched a crowdfunding campaign of a company that had literally just opened like 6 months before. And what they did was they wanted to treat their guests who came in and supported their business, which was all neighborhood people, friends, family, people who already knew this guy. And he was a black guy, opened up this shop. It was very, very crafty and creative, something totally different. And most people feel like, oh, well, this is beyond what most people would understand. So I got to do all this to make them understand it. No, he just invited his friends and family. He did a promotion, and then he started a crowdfunding campaign off of that promotion. And do you know that this man raised almost 6 figures in less than a month because he literally put names on the back of his chairs in his restaurant to say, hey, if you want your name to be permanently on this chair, it's going to cost you. And people are like seeing the vision. They're like, oh, yeah, like I'm invested in that. I want my name to be on that because I can see myself living here for the rest of my life. I'm not going nowhere. I'm putting my name on a chair. And when you create value standpoints in people's lives to say, you know what? People will literally throw money, like how Charlene, the vocal alchemist, says, people will throw money at your face because really what they're doing is they're seeing the alignment with exactly what you're saying and what they're needing. And it's simple. It's like, okay, it's a no-brainer. So at that point, that's where TC comes in and she goes, listen, just go ahead and feed them the emails and feed them the information and then follow up. Because the truth is that you already know who you're speaking to, and those people that are giving you their money, they just become loyal buyers. But this is just the first part of that pie chart, and we only covered like one, so we're gonna cover all of them most likely in a workshop. TC, I think we need to put this together. I was thinking about doing this for the community next month in the Business Mastery membership, but I'm going to talk to TC about this first because y'all, this is a really, really big deal for a lot of people to understand how to get to the money. We have a lot of women out here that need to understand that as well, that own businesses are at the forefront of this capitalist system. But TC, I'm going to pass it over to you.
I love the conversation, and I wanted to say something before I get to introduce myself. You know, while Allegra was speaking, there are two things, right? It's important that we know that there is something called the free other people's money and the pay back other people's money, right? Now, so many of us want to, like, all we know, or rather all we think we need or our businesses need is the pay back other people's money. That's where we have like the loans, the credits, you know, all of that. How about we start with, it's the same thing when we keep talking about marketing. You know, you have like the paid marketing, and then you have the you know, the organic marketing strategies. But some people start up and all they want to think about is, how can I pay somebody? How about you thinking about, how can I get this thing for free? I mean, free is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, let's get out of that space where we think that, you know, just because somebody says this is free, it's diluted, or just because somebody says this is free, it's of no good. No. So it's like when you go to so when you do like wine testing, so just because I say, oh, you know what, I need you to come, you know, test this wine, does it mean that the wine isn't good? I'm just saying. I mean, when you go out, like, you know, you test those, maybe you, so for example, you are a wedding planner, and so you want to taste like the food or the dishes that will be served during the wedding, or the cake, or, you know, whatever dessert that's going to be served, and you be like, you want to taste it. Now, just because they say, oh, can you taste it? Can I send this to your home? Can I do this to this? Does it mean that that thing they're sending to you is bad? Does it mean it is wrong? No, they just want you to have a closer feel of what that feels like, so that you're able to, it's more like, it gives you that whole confidence to say, okay, you know what? I know what I'm going to pay for. I know what I'm going to buy. Okay, so this is what it is. So let us go off that whole space. It's the same thing. Allegra, I mean, I've seen so many people talking about marketing. I've seen so many people say to themselves, no, I'm just going to go with the paid ads, or I'm going to go with paid marketing. And then I'm thinking to my head, how far can you go when you start your business and the first thing you're thinking about is paying some bunch of platforms for something you do not even know, you do not know these people, nothing, and all you want to do is pushing money for paid ads when you can strategically follow certain organic free strategies that would get you good clients that would in turn now pay for whatever expenses that your business is going to have to pay for. So while you were speaking, like I'd be like, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, instead of thinking of the loans, I mean, the loans are good. Those are other people's money that we want to use when we get to a certain stage in our businesses. Now, that's how I look at it, right? Now, the credits, all of it is good as well. But like Allegra mentioned, you also want to think about your network, your community, the people around you, your friends and family. Personally, for me, I believe that that is one very sweet way to use other people's money without feeling the need, without feeling unnecessarily indebted. I mean, so many people have gone into bad loans. They've jeopardized the future of their businesses. Why? Because they weren't able to sit down and understand what it means to actually get a loan for their business, right? Because you feel it's readily accessible, you be like, you know, but we need to take our time, leverage the organic OPM strategies before we start to go with the paid OPM strategies, right? And I guess that's basically what Allegra is trying to break down for us here. So I'm not sure if Allegra is still here, but you want to, as much as possible, right? Pay close attention to that. I believe that we have so there's this guide that we have, and we have over 20 something um strategies, OPM strategies that you can leverage for your business. And you just want to you want to leverage it. You want to understand it. And to my point, I really feel like that workshop Allegra is just talked about is much needed, especially going into 2025, right? We want to work smart. We do not want to show up, making the same mistakes that we made in 2024. Okay. Let me see what is happening. Okay, so we do not want to make the same mistakes, that we made in 2024. Hence the need for us to figure out, how to use other people's money. If you were in an audio session that was like last week Saturday, when we're talking about, ways that you can leverage other people's money, we talked about you reaching out to your network. Now, some people would say, oh, but what if I don't have a good network? Um, what if I do not have family and friends who are available to support me? What if? Now, let's break this down. What if you do not have, um, what if you do not have family members, right, that can support you? I mean, that happens. And it's going to happen because not everybody is fortunate enough to find themselves in that space where they have like family support, friend support. I mean, there's so many of us that our families do not, yes, they support us with the business, but they do not necessarily know what exactly the business is about, right? Now, it's not because they do not care, it's just because they just do not understand, right? And you don't want to fault them, you don't want to blame them, you just want to think about your road, your next step. Now, personally, for me, I would say the very first step you need to take, as much as possible, is join a community. Join a community that has the people you want to work with. There's so many opportunities out there. There's so many communities out there. There's so many relevant groups. Obviously, um, you want to be intentional. Okay, you want to pay close attention to these groups, these communities, so you don't make a mistake, right? Obviously, figure out who you want to connect with, figure out the people you want to partner with, figure out the people you want to collaborate with. Join communities that have this set of people, build that whole network that you do not have, right? Now, leverage this network. You can have like your crowdfunding, like Allegra mentioned, you can have like your crowdfunding and all of it, but you want as much as possible build. See, if there is no table for you, hey Allegra, are you there? If there's no table for you, build that table, set that table, make the table available so that people can join you on the table. Not everybody is destined to go to tables that are already created, that are already designed. Some people are the designers of the table, some people are the creators of the table. Now if you don't have that network, you don't have that community, you create one. But trust me when I tell you, there's so many communities that you can leverage for your first crowdfunding, for that's free OPM strategy we're talking about. Okay. So now that we have Allegra, let me use the mic tab because I know, Allegra, before you jumped in, I was talking about the need for that workshop you talked about. I believe that this would be really, really good because so many people need to understand what it's necessarily mean to navigate through living, using and leveraging other people's money for their business, especially going into 2025. What do you think?
Oh, I'm absolutely ready for it. TC, I love what you were saying too about crowdfunding because that is actually the next area that I was going to lean into. It's one, family, friends, people you already know, colleagues. And we started there because the truth is, if you can't build confidence off of asking the people you already know for money, then how are you going to ask a stranger? Right? It's kind of like giving yourself the confidence building stepping stones that lead you to, that real true higher self, right? Because the truth is that being in a microwave society has really led us into this mental health issue because we have this unrealistic viewpoint of how we get to our goals. I've I have been building businesses since 2007, so I get it. Like I know that there are things that can actually turn over very quickly and give you a return of investment very quickly, but that's not everything and that's not all the time. And so we take those blessings as they come, but we're not unrealistic about what it really means to build a business and to be an entrepreneur. And so when we start out with family and friends, we're just practicing, right? It's the same as like pitching and role playing, right? You're just going to practice with people you know. And the truth is that most people that I've created a strategy for that starts with this same component and leads into what makes sense for their business, I'm telling y'all, it's like it's always a surprise. You're like, wait a minute, they said yes. They gave me $1,000. And so it's like you don't know unless you actually ask, because what you'll find when you go through this practice is that what you think about what other people think is not correct, because we're never in their heads. We never know what people are thinking. What they were thinking yesterday, they're not thinking today anymore. Who they were yesterday, they may not be today anymore. So being able to really evaluate, right? like let's just be very real. We have to know what people need. And the only way we know that is by asking. And needing, and what they need is going to make the exchange for what we want. We want their money, they need what we have, so let's just make the exchange. I found
Elect-
this happen a lot, and sometimes go ahead.
yeah. No. Finish up. I just remembered something. Finish up, and I'll tell you.
No, I was gonna say, and yeah. So I mean, I was pretty much done with that part. I just wanted to encourage people to know that this is not about, oh, my family don't support me. This is not about, well, I don't like my cousins. It's not about that. There's gonna be people that you have to ask for things from, and you have to do what you got to do for your business to people that you do not like. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, being uncomfortable, doing those things, I would just say stay right where you are until you're willing to make that sacrifice. Practice with the people that are right in front of you first. But TC, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say because that sounds like you're about to burst out.
No. So I remembered two examples. So sometimes people be like, oh, crowdfunding is necessarily all about you come up and be like, oh, I need $1 million and I need people to maybe donate to me with that, blah, 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 right? And some people have said that it didn't work for them. Like crowdfunding work. They wasted their time with crowdfunding and blah blah blah. But personally, we were talking, I'm like, this thing's basically very strategic. You know why? Because there's this crowdfunding stuff that we had. Now, this particular lady, this is how she went about it, right? So I said to her, in this time and age, everybody wants to be a business owner, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, right? But people do not even know what they want to sell. They don't even know what exactly they want, right? And so investors, capitalists, people who have the money are wary about people, especially when you say, oh, you want to have your business online, or you want to have like an online business. People be like, oh, you're not serious and blah blah blah. And so she was like, yeah, that's the problem. That's what she was facing and blah, blah, blah. And I said to her, okay, you know what? How about we do this for your business? How about we write a list of all of the physical items you might need, because your business it's working, right? She wanted to start a spa, more like she's an esthetician, right? But she also wanted to have like an online space and all of it. And then she's like, oh, will people donate to it? And I said to her, write a list of everything you need to start your business. Every single thing. Think about it. Every single thing to the very tiniest piece. And she wrote a very long list. And I said, you know what? Now, when we start this crowdfunding space, let us give people opportunities to either bring these items, buy these items, give you the items, gift you the items, or give you the money equivalent to the items, or get you a gift card, from all of these stores. Now give people opportunities to gift you that thing. Don't just go out and be like, oh, I need 1 million. And so you think a bunch of people are just going to throw you 1 million. No, you need to be very strategic. And I promise you, about 75% of all the things on the list were literally, most of them, to be exact, our entire shop was designed and set up, right, by people. Like, she actually had an interior designer actually gift her the interior. Like, she just said, okay, you know what, I'm going to help you design, and in turn, I would use your space to market my business as an interior designer. I mean, I'm like, that is smart. Do you know how much it will cost her to get an interior designer, get all of the fittings in the spa and everything? So I just thought about it while you were talking about it. I feel like it's because we do not have a strategy around these things, and so we think that it is not possible. Go on, Allegra.
Absolutely. See? And I love that story. That is such a great example, because the truth is that we don't think outside of the box enough, because we're only exposed to what we see and what we're taught. And a lot of us are learning business through social media. YouTube University is like so much fun, right? It's like everybody has something to teach. And I think it's great, because when you need something immediately, like, hey, how do I fix this dishwasher? Like, I'm going to YouTube because I don't want to have to buy the dishwasher today. But I definitely know that it'll give me a quick fix for a moment. And so sometimes we have to understand like what we're using things for. And, I understand as well that when we look at money, we're we're thinking about it as in a way where it's so tangible, and it's not, right? Like, money really is intangible. It is currency. So is time, right? So are resources. So when we look at that example, TC, I love that, because most people will say, well, I don't have a nonprofit, so I can't ask people to do stuff for me. Yeah, you can, because most people are also looking for some way of trading what they do so they can get more exposure, more whatever. And so having that conversation, that's really where it starts. And I think that, TC, we will have a workshop on this, because I can see the importance of it. But I want to make sure it's structured and guided for those of you who are thinking very, very small about what it looks like when you're using other people's money. If you create a strategy that's so geared for exactly what you're doing, like TC is talking about, she literally she got that lady together. She created a strategy for her. She told her like exactly what she needed to do. to get all of the resources she needed without having to buy out of pocket. And most of us, we will say the thing like, well, I can't do that with my business. I just don't have the money. There is no such thing as I don't have the money. I have proven it time and time again, because money is just a form of currency. So if you don't have the money, find a different form of currency. That could mean, like TC just said, trading. So I love that, because crowdfunding, that second part of this, and we're not going to extend past the hour. So we have about less than 15 minutes to give y'all this. But listen, lean in, get what you need, and implement right away. Because some of the things that we're teaching you here in Q4 is going to lead you into 2025. And if you don't start paying attention now, we cannot save you come January, because we've been preparing for this for the last 6 months, and we've told you all, get your house in order. We know that crowdfunding is definitely one of those things where, and I think it's because this is an online thing, and I've been talking to lots of different, conversations about generations, right? Like asking people, well, what generation are you in? And how do you feel about digital marketing? How do you feel about social media? How do you feel about online tools? I'm going to tell y'all, millennials hate them. Like, millennials are like, don't put me, Gen X's, they're like, no, I'm sorry. It's Gen X's are actually okay to a certain extent, but they're more like the quick, fast paced, like give me results type energy. Like they're Amazon addicts, basically. Okay. So if they go online, they're going online to shop, honey. But you have and it's like baby boomers more than anything. Actually, that's the baby boomers. But you have to look at like where people are and how we're utilizing different things, because that crowdfunding is, there are apps online that people have really just shied away from, because they've seen a lot of scammy stuff happening, right? They're like, oh no, that crowdfunding campaign, like that wasn't really what it was for. And maybe they have a bad taste in their mouth from it. Maybe you heard someone say, oh yeah, crowdfunding campaigns are scammy. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is really happening. If you are in a position where you haven't started a crowdfunding campaign and you started your business, then you are leaving money on the table. That is just the real deal, because you can start with family and friends, but then you have to take it to the next step. How do you strategize to take those family and friends when they relay that word of mouth advertisement to their friends and their family and all the other people that they know, and they say, oh yeah, like I know someone that's doing that, or I know someone that's selling that. Where are they going to send them? And this is why a lot of people go, well, I really don't have my business set up yet, because they haven't put in like all these systems that, me and TC help businesses with. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars to put all your systems in today. Just go to like ifundwomen.com, go to, some of these crowdfunding campaign sites that are geared for your type of business, because there's a lot of them. And, you don't have to go to GoFundMe. That's old school. Don't even worry about it. You don't have to do that. But go to the ones that are going to really help you with your bottom line of what you're trying to do. Because iFund Women, I use all the time, because they partner with American Express. And of course, if American Express has a grant, guess what? They're going to go into my into my campaign. That is marketing. Not only are you giving that strategy time to breathe, right? So you can get more people to give you money, more people to support, and you can add rewards where people buy from you. They don't have to necessarily get a service. They can get a perk, like, and it could be anything. And this is what I tell people, and I'll end with the crowdfunding campaign, because TCU were really leaning into that. So if anyone has not done these two things already, then you are already behind your ball, the ball with your business. Start with your family and friends. If you haven't told every one of your family and friends about your business, whether it's social media, over the phone, in a text message, email, whatever it is, then you are leaving money on the table. If you have not transferred that into a crowdfunding campaign at some point in time, even if you need to do it again every year to let people know, hey, I'm relaunching new things, I'm doing new stuff. And every time you put money into my business, you're going to get some type of reward. Y'all, I've seen people give rewards like self-care kits away, spend $500 with me. I did one where we did a wine, bourbon, and whiskey box. Y'all listen. We literally did a wine, bourbon, and whiskey box for a crowdfunding campaign. I think it was like $1,000 that they paid for that. And we got 3 buyers. That was an easy $3,000. And we literally didn't even pay like $100, I think, for the box. It's like, come on. So being able to leverage this momentum and say, hey, where am I missing? Where am I missing my money? Right? This is going to start a little bit more of that confidence factor in you to start thinking about, why am I not asking for that support for other people to tell them where they can put their money? So I'll end with that, and me and TC will answer any questions you have in the comments after this live. Well, also, this is being on Clubhouse, so I'll take this audio if y'all want to jump on over there and listen to the replay there while you're in your cars. That's fine as well. But we will be utilizing this conversation just to get you guys into the workshop, because as you are growing your business, you don't want to miss out on these opportunities to get the money off the table. So back to you, TC.
I mean, I love this conversation. And just so we're clear, when it comes down to using other people's money, there are various ways. There are really good strategies out there. Now, you can actually create customized strategies. Now, when I mean customized strategies that best meet your bottom line, is the fact that you can navigate through all of the, in quotes, common strategies, take a piece of all of it and create your own. Why? Because you want something personalized, you want something that works just for you, right? Based on what exactly your goal is and what you want to achieve. Now, do not limit yourself when it comes down to starting your business. You see, the part where myself and Allegra are very excited and very, intentional about this, is that we are tired of people having 1,001 reasons why they can't either stay sustainable in their business or even scale their business. I mean, there's some people that are on that stage one, like they've been on stage one of their business for the past 3 years. Like, I'm not sure what's happening, but it's like you're stuck. And when you get in conversation with them, they'll be like, oh, I don't have money. I need money. I know you need money. I mean, you need money to work your business. You need money to make money. But there are strategic ways you can make this money without necessarily crying and, complaining and staying stuck all throughout. Now, if you don't do something about this before the end of 2024, there's a likeliness that come 2025, you will still be in that particular space where you are right now. So this is your cue to take advantage of this. This is your cue to think about using other people's money. This is your cue to reach out to us. This is your cue, right? For you to be able to do what is needed to scale your business. And if you're thinking, I need to start my business, right? We are able to support you. You just need to reach out. You need to ask questions so you don't make mistakes, right? There are strategies behind taking those loans. There's strategies behind using your credit cards. There's strategies behind all of this great stuff that, we keep talking about, crowdfunding and all of it. Don't just jump into it because you heard it, right? Learn about it. Design a strategy that works for you around these strategies, these known ways, just so you're able to come out successful. All right. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. And I really do hope that y'all are literally going to put this into action, because trust me, implementation is key. That's basically what makes it happen for you. Right. So that's what I have to say, Allegra.
Thank you, TC. All right, so we're going to end this live for you all. I hope you got what you needed in this time, because the truth is that this information, we only gave you like 2 things to work on and to think about. Are you speaking to your friends and family, and are you crowdfunding? And if those 2 areas you're lacking support in, or you just don't know a lot about it, this is your time to learn. And if you're confused and if you feel like there's an overwhelm, that's what me and TC are here for. We'll be back here, hopefully. We'll do another one for y'all, because we have like so many live streams coming up. Thursday, don't forget to check us out for the Big Brand Small Business series. That is like, I think that's my heart, TC, because I kind of like feel like, as I've been looking at all these brands in the past and how they just did what they were doing. Like, I mean, they still went through all the downs. They didn't stop. They weren't like, oh, poor me, you know, I didn't get to sell. They were just like, okay, well, I guess I'll just move to Kansas where all the people that are buying this from. So being so flexible in the world that you don't limit your life. Business allows you to develop personally. It allows you to expand yourself. It allows you to see the world differently. And so I always encourage y'all to just stay focused. If you need some mentorship, me and TC, we charge a lot of money to come into our programs. But we're laughing because we definitely qualify people and we see where people are definitely struggling, but we have boundaries within our businesses because we have to help those who are serious about their growth and who are ready to go. But for those of you who are just like, I don't know, like this is just, I don't even know if I want to have the business. I think someone said to me, TC, in another room, said, well, I have enough money, so I don't think I need a business. I was like, well, what happens when the money's gone? And what happens when, you know, because money is just paper. Like, money doesn't give you fulfillment. If you're doing a business just for the money, just quit now. Okay, just stop it. I'm just going to tell you, you came out of Allegra's mouth. You can blame me later, whatever, because your passion and your purpose has to be there in order for your business to thrive. Otherwise, you're just being selfish. You're just doing it for the money. And that means that whoever is coming through your front doors, they're not going to be well taken care of because all you want is their money. So we have to distinguish the difference here. Be very, very focused on your business. Be very sure about why you're doing it. And if you don't know what you're doing, ask for help. That's what we're here for. All right. Thank y'all for joining the live. Thank y'all for joining us here on Clubhouse. And we will see y'all on Thursday for the big brand, small business. Yes. All right. Bye, y'all.